righty.
All right, Jason, getting into the stretch run, final weekend of the season. Just how do you guys are right up there at the top, near the top of the conference standings.
Yeah, we just trying to collect my thoughts on this. It feels like Groundhog Day, and so when we get on the road, this last week we sat there and went to the AC for a couple days. Girls didn't like it, but just to get used to like the setting, and it actually I think benefited. But there's just some kind of hitch we got to get over. And then I was talking to the AD at Kingsville, and I looked at it, and he was right. Before this weekend, only one team in the conference had a positive road record, and that was Tarleton. And then this weekend, Angelo broke into the positive. And so it just shows the parity. And so we got to get used to playing out of our gym. And it's just as simple as that. And then because of our youth, youth struggles replicating. So it's there. It really is there. And so, this week we're going to work hard. It's the next 2 or 3 days. And then you got to save legs, but then it's just a mindset. I really think it's going to come down to who's next weekend in the conference tournament, what team is just willing to say enough is enough. And does it make sense? Like, because Cameron is as athletic as anybody. If they got in, Midwestern could really scare some teams. Us, Kingsville, like you said, so dead even. It really is just going to come down to that weekend, which team wants it, and can literally make the decision to be a little bit different that weekend.
With a good weekend, you guys could jump as far as third up into the conference there.
Yeah, and that's very possible. It's there's really not separating much. We statted it, and it sounds weird, but we statted for our outsides hit 200. We've lost only 2 to 4 matches all year, and 200 is very conceivable with our players, and so realistically I'm just gonna go back to the parity. It's gonna come down to getting our girls primed for that weekend. So right now, today is just fixing some stuff that we had issues on. We're gonna watch film on us, and then tomorrow starts women's and commerce, and focusing on them, and then but it's going to be basically can we get them focused in on the here and now. So, and that seems to be honestly every team except for Tarleton's struggle is getting to seize the moment at that moment. And it sounds so cliche, but if you look at how the A beats B, B beats C, C beats D, D beats A, I mean, it's just how do you make sense of everything? So there's a big tie from 2nd to 8th. There's only one team that cannot make the tournament, and literally Angelo went from 2nd to 7th back up to 3rd in one weekend. I mean, it just tells you how even it is.
Yeah, the numbers for it is 70% wins at home, 30% wins away. And so kind of getting back to specifically for the game against A&M Commerce, you took them to 5 sets here at home, the great atmosphere there. But what do you think, you kind of already talked about for a specific player, is there a specific player that can jump out that could potentially help the team against Commerce?
Yeah, so that game against Commerce, we had that was homecoming weekend. And I honestly think the big crowd sort of got us a little puckered up, our young kids. And so Selena Batiste's been doing good. Cheyenne's back from an injury, Cheyenne Lytle. But realistically, we have 2 or 3 kids that we move positions, Lindsey Smith and Danielle Anderson. If one of those and then our freshman Aaron Clark can just show up on the road, I think I'm really not too worried about the matches. Win or lose, it's not a worry anymore. It's not can we do it. We know we can do it. It's can we get enough kids to click in at that one moment to make it happen. So there's a couple girls we've unfortunately had some injuries at the back row position, and so the last couple weeks our best 2 passers have been out, and so we were able to win some big matches, but then it hurt us at the end. So we're going to get one of those kids back, and so it's just weird. It's not a worry anymore. It's trying to get those girls excited about seizing the moment. It's really just that. It's not a can we do it anymore or I hope we do it. It's getting the young kids to understand there's not I think youth thinks there's always another game. Does that make sense? So once we get past that, I think the sky's the limit for these kids.
Yeah, and kind of getting back also, you're talking about the youth and the player that kind of did really well, and I saw you made the adjustment, Destiny Jones, a couple of games back, and you put her in at the middle blocker position. She ended up having 5 blocks, 5 kills, and so how important can that, when she comes in and makes that change for the team?
So she plays. I'll give you an example with these young kids. Some of them do play. You know, they're a little nervous. You know, but her and Chandler attack it the right way. Some kids, when they get nervous, or if you want to say scared or whatnot, they slow themselves down. And Destiny's strength, and Lauren Britton did this, which made her a great libero. She was nervous, and and if you want to use scared or whatnot, timid. But what she did was to attack it was she worked harder. She worked harder and just kept her feet moving. And Destiny and Chandler specifically, those two girls have that same kind of trait. Is when they get nervous, instead of like bogging themselves down, like paralysis by analysis, they're just going to overcommit. So yeah, they get a little crazy out of hand. But what happens is it's able to work them out of it easier. And so when you get someone like that that's getting subbed in, and then she's so athletic, it adds a nice spark. Because normally when I've made a sub is one of the kids is bogged down a little bit. So she's actually a good little anecdote for it. So we just got to get her to, and it's experience. We just got to get her to see the things cerebrally more, so she can be more consistent. But it goes back to is, we got good kids. We're battling 3 teams that are upperclassmen laden, and then we are going to be on the road. And so if we can keep fixing each one of those like 10 to 15% every time we get out, like I said, I'm not. I think we can do it, and I believe we can do it. It's just now getting the kids to understand no more. There's no more next time, so we got to do it this time.